Meet Vincent van Gogh, a highly acclaimed post-impressionist Dutch painter. In just 10 years, Van Gogh created about 2,100 artworks, including around 860 oil paintings, most of which date from the last 2 years of his life. You know what is sad about this talented artist? He only became this prolific painter posthumously, now being considered one of the most famous and influential figures in Western art. But apparently he believed he was a failed artist because he not only died penniless but also destitute, despite now his work selling for millions of dollars apiece. While this unfortunate narration can be attributed to a lot of factors, some of them include a lack of market access and a lack of knowledge in copyright matters. So how can that gap be bridged for today's artists, for Botswana visual artists? How can they learn of the various platforms that exist to protect their works and earn them incomes so that these works are not just passion projects? First National Bank of Botswana Foundation partnered with the Thapong Visual Arts Center to, amongst other things, facilitate a workshop on copyright matters, business acumen, and have an exhibition night to provide a platform through which members of the Arts Center can exhibit their work to prospective buyers. First Issues caught up with one of Fnbb Foundation's trustees, Myra Sokororwane, on exhibition night to get more details on this partnership. Ms. Khorwane, thank you so much for coming on First Issues, affording us your time. Today we're at the Thapong Visual Arts Center. We're celebrating art, right? But we want to know what caught the attention of the First National Bank of Botswana Foundation, so much so you had to be a part of this exhibition.
Thank you for having me. And we have actually assisted Thapong Visual Arts before. In the form of donating towards one of their building structures some years back. But this time around, really, seeing how artists in general struggled during COVID, when there was no gatherings, therefore there was no way they could display their arts and craft. Everybody was grounded, there was no gatherings, and so on and so forth. We really felt that coming out of COVID, because we are not out of it yet, but coming out of it, we really wanted to prioritize and saying, what can we do to uplift our artists and assist them to come out of the couple of years we've gone through during the pandemic, and also assist them in the marketing and stimulating the general public and visitors to start coming out and visiting the center. So really, even though it's the second or third time we've assisted, but this time really the push was seeing the hardships that everyone went through, but as artists in particular during COVID.
There's so many visual artists in the country, so I want to understand and know what selection criteria was used to pick or invite the exhibitionists from tonight.
This time around, we went through Thapong as an organization that has got a collective of visual artists in general, from poetry to photography, videography, and so on and so forth, to say if we want to have a quicker impact by way of preparations, Thapong would be ideal because they're already geared up for exhibiting, and the exposure to as many people as possible would come out quicker if we work with Thapong. As you probably know, the workshops that we ran with the artists before the exhibition, training them on business acumen and so forth, attracted 30 artists. So as much as obviously we spread ourselves around the country, there was no particular criteria to us. It was just a question of as long as they are visual artists. And Thapong gave them all an invitation, and as I said, we had 30 participants. Definitely, as we go, because arts and craft is one of our 6 pillars that assist us in guiding how we work strategically as a foundation. So we can go around the country, and we will go around the country, but this was just a quick win in terms of trying to motivate as quickly as possible as many people and impact as many people rather than going to one there, second one there, a third one there.
Speaking of moving around the country, are we going to be seeing any more partnerships of this nature?
For as long as arts and culture, arts and craft rather, is one of our pillars, key objectives of areas that we have to cover, I can guarantee you that you will see our assistance in one form or the other. I know there's a competition coming up with the bank already in the next few weeks that also belongs to that pillar. So I can assure you and our general public and the artists themselves around the country that for as long as that is a pillar that we had our hat on, yes, they can be guaranteed of our interest in supporting them.
But just exactly how did this partnership come about and what immediate gains have the beneficiaries realized? Here's Thapong Visual Arts Center Coordinator Reginald Vakwin.
Well, the partnership started last year with the approach from us to Fnbb Riverwalk that we want to do coaching, business coaching for artists, because you know, as artists, we need to be taught how to do business, as well even how to change your thinking, how to be able to think in a different way, because we are creative people. We're always thinking of brushes and producing things without even thinking of how we are going to sell them, without even thinking of how we are going to penetrate the market. Now, as part of this initiative from Fnbb, Riverwalk and Fnbb Foundation, we learned a lot in a way that we need to brand ourselves as artists. We need to brand our ideas. We need to register our ideas with SIPA. We also have to register, copyright our issues. Our ideas need to be copyrighted so that we cannot copy from one another. Even a way of investment, as you were being given the presentation, we learned a lot in terms of artists opening up accounts, artists coming to the bank and ask for help, and kind of, as artists, you also have to use a bank, because these are some of the things sometimes artists, they don't know. They don't know that you need to think like a business person. You also need to think of making your work quality so that you can attract more customers to your work. You know, those are some of the things we have learned. Professionalism, understanding opportunities outside the country, even in around our country. You know, we learn a lot in terms of even networking, as well as even other events which are happening around the world for the arts. You know, one of the presenters talks about the Johannesburg Art Fair, which used to be sponsored by Fnbb in South Africa. And those are some of the things that can expose our work to the international market. And even the Biennale, which are happening around the world. You know, there are things which artists should take an opportunity to learn. And through these workshops, we learn from presenters about these things. That, you know, you need to brand yourself. You need to brand your work. You need to produce quality. You need to work hard and make it a point that your work has its name and has its style.
As far as the visual artists themselves, how do they intend to use this opportunity to their advantage?
The workshop taught me a lot. They taught us the importance of copyright, saving, and starting our own businesses and companies. So with that information, I'm going to be able to use that to my advantage as an artist to grow.
You have to open an account. So we banking for future use and for investment, so that you can buy more material, avoid misusing of money.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?